Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating life and career of Bobby Sherman, a name that might spark some nostalgia for those who grew up in the late 60s and early 70s. If you're new to his story, don't worry, I'm going to walk you through who Bobby Sherman was, why he became such a massive teen idol, and how his life took some incredible turns after his days in the spotlight. This is going to be a deep dive, so grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's get started. Bobby Sherman, born Robert Cabot Sherman Jr. on July 22, 1943. In Santa Monica, California, was more than just a singer and actor. He was a cultural phenomenon. During his peak, growing up in the Van Nuys neighborhood of Los Angeles, Bobby had a fairly typical childhood. But his love for music and performing set him on a path to stardom. His big break came in the early 1960s when he crossed paths with Sal Mineo, a well-known actor and singer. Sal saw something special in Bobby and wrote 2 songs for him. It's recorded in 1962. Those early recordings didn't exactly set the charts on fire, but they were enough to get Bobby noticed. Sal even invited him to perform with his band at a Hollywood party packed with industry insiders, and that performance led to Bobby signing with an agent. From there, things started to move fast. By 1964, Bobby landed a role on the ABC show Shindig as a house singer. If you're not familiar with Shindig, it was a wildly popular music variety show that showcased some of the biggest acts of the era, and Bobby was right in the middle of it. He was charming, good-looking, and had a voice that resonated with audiences. Time on Shindig helped him build a fan base, and soon he was appearing in teen magazines, which was a huge deal back then. Those magazines were like the social media of the day. Being featured in them meant you were a star in the making. Bobby's early records with Decca and smaller labels didn't make a huge splash, but they kept him in the game, setting the stage for what was to come, the real turning point for Bobby. Sherman came in 1968 when he was cast as Jeremy Bolt in the ABC series Here Come the Brides. This show, which ran from 1968 to 1970, was a romantic comedy drama set in 19th century Seattle, and Bobby played the shy, stammering youngest brother of the Bolt family. His character was lovable and relatable, and fans couldn't get enough of him. In fact, by 1970, Bobby was getting more fan mail than anyone else on the ABC network. Can you imagine what that must have been like? Teenagers across the country were writing letters, screaming his name at concerts, and buying up every record he released. The show gave him a platform. But it was his music that truly launched him into teen idol status. In 1969, Bobby signed with Metro Media Records, and that's when things went to another level. His single Little Woman hit the charts and climbed to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, selling over 1 million copies and earning a gold disc. That song was everywhere. Its catchy melody and Bobby's smooth vocals made it an instant classic. It wasn't just a fluke either. He followed it up with a string of hits like Julie, Do You Love Me, Easy Come, Easy Go, and La 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 If I Had You, all of which sold over 1 million copies each. In total, Bobby had 7 top 40 hits, 7 gold singles, 1 platinum single, and 5 gold albums. His music was pure pop perfection, designed to capture the hearts of his young fans, and it worked. His concerts were packed with screaming fans, mostly young women, and the noise was so intense that Bobby actually experienced hearing loss from performing. That's the kind of frenzy he inspired. But Bobby wasn't just a singer, he was a television star too. Beyond Here Come the Brides, he made guest appearances on all sorts of shows. He popped up on Honey West, The Monkees, The Partridge Family, and even later shows like Murder, She Wrote, and Frasier. One of his most memorable roles was in a backdoor pilot for a show called Getting Together, which aired as an episode of The Partridge Family in 1971. The show itself didn't last long, only 14 episodes, but it showed Bobby's versatility as an actor. He was a regular on American Bandstand and Where the Action Is, and he even appeared on big platforms like The Ed Sullivan Show and The Tonight Show. Bobby was everywhere. His charm and talent made him a natural fit for television. On the big screen, Bobby's roles were fewer, but still notable. In 1975, he starred in a family film called He Is My Brother, directed by Edward Demetric. And in 1983, he played a henchman alongside another teen idol, Fabian. In the cult comedy Get Crazy, these roles showed that Bobby could hold his own in different formats, but television was really where he shined. His ability to connect with audiences, whether through a song or a character, was undeniable. By the early 1970s, Bobby Sherman was at the peak of his fame, a household name with a massive following. Now you might be wondering what happened next. Why did someone so successful step away from the spotlight? Well, by the mid-1970s, Bobby started to shift gears. In 1974, he guest starred on an episode of Emergency, a show about paramedics and firefighters, and something clicked. That experience inspired him to pursue a completely different path. He left the entertainment world behind and trained to become a paramedic, volunteering with the Los Angeles Police Department. He didn't just stop at volunteering, though he became a technical reserve police officer in the 1990s and even served as a medical training officer, teaching first aid and CPR to thousands of police officers. In 1999, he was named LAPD's Reserve Officer of the Year, which is a huge honor. He also joined the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department as a reserve deputy sheriff, continuing his work in emergency services until 2010. This career change wasn't just a whim, it was a calling. Bobby found purpose in helping others, and his work as a paramedic and officer showed a side of him that was just as compelling as his time on stage. He didn't completely abandon music, though. In 1998, he joined Peter Noone and Davy Jones for the Teen Idol Tour, a nostalgic trip down memory lane for fans. He performed his last solo concert in 2001 in Rhode Island, but even after retiring from public performances, he stayed involved in charity work and corporate events. TV Guide even ranked him number 8 on their list of the greatest teen idols, which just goes to show how much of an impact he had. On the personal side, Bobby's life was full of meaningful moments. He was married to Patty Carnell, with whom he had 2 sons, but they later divorced. In 2010, he married Brigitte Publon in Las Vegas, and together they founded the Brigitte and Bobby Sherman Children's Foundation. This organization focused on providing education and music programs for students in Ghana, helping them pursue higher education. It's clear that Bobby's heart was in giving back, whether through his emergency services work or his philanthropy. His foundation is still making a difference, and it's a testament to the kind of person he was. Sadly, Bobby's story took a heartbreaking turn in 2025. In March of that year, he was diagnosed with stage 4 kidney cancer in just a few months. Later, on June 24, 2025, he passed away at his home in Los Angeles at the age of 81. The news was a shock to fans around the world, who remembered him not just as a teen idol, but as a kind, generous person who touched countless lives. His death was covered by major outlets like Variety and The Washington Post, a reminder of how much he meant to so many people. Let's talk about his music for a moment, because Bobby's discography is a treasure trove of pop history. Between 1962 and 1976, he released 107 songs, 23 singles, and 10 albums. His original LPs, like Bobby Sherman and Here Comes Bobby, were huge hits, with several earning gold status. His Christmas album from 1970 even hit number 2 on the Christmas charts. Later, compilation albums and CDs kept his music alive for new generations. Some releases included previously unreleased tracks that gave fans something new to discover. Songs like Little Woman and Julie, Do You Love Me are still beloved today, capturing the optimism and innocence of that era. What makes Bobby Sherman's story so compelling is how multifaceted he was. He wasn't just a singer or an actor. He was someone who reinvented himself multiple times. From a teen idol to a paramedic to a philanthropist, he lived a life of purpose. His music brought joy to millions, his acting entertained audiences, and his work in emergency services saved lives. Even after he stepped away from fame, he never stopped making a difference. That's what sets him apart from so many other stars of his time. So, why does Bobby Sherman still matter today? For one, his music and TV roles are a time capsule of The late 60s and early 70s, a period when pop culture was bursting with energy. His songs are still out there, available on streaming platforms, and they can instantly transport you back to that era. But more than that, his life is a reminder that fame doesn't have to define you. Bobby could have stayed in the spotlight, riding the wave of his teen idol status, but he chose a path that was true to himself. He followed his heart, whether it was through music, acting, or helping others, and that's something we can all learn from. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Bobby Sherman's legacy is about more than just hit songs or TV shows. It's about the impact one person can have when they live with passion and purpose. Whether you're a longtime fan or just discovering him, I hope this deep dive into his life has given you a new appreciation for who he was. Thanks for joining me on this journey through Bobby Sherman's incredible story. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget